Hey everybody, it's File Under Action. We are back with another Diablo 2 stream, Diablo 2 Resurrected. It is part 11, I think. I don't really remember. Part something. But anyways, we are here in Nightmare. We are in Act 1 Nightmare. We are, what did we do? We rescued Cain. That's what we did last now, I remember. As a token of my gratitude. There we go. We get a ring from her. That's cool. That ring sucks. It's nowhere near as good as what we have. Anyways, we're here on, we're going to sell that. Act 1, Nightmare, rescued Deckard. We are looking for some runes. So we have the rune bases we need for lore, for rhyme, which is going to be our shield, and for spirit, we have the bases we need. And we're still going to be using stealth, but we don't have the runes, so we need a soul rune for lore. So the lore is the Ort Soul. We have the Ort rune. It is right there. We got two of them. And we don't have a soul rune. And then we need runes for rhyme, which is Shale Eth. So there's our Shale rune right there. Shale Eth. Okay. And then we need the runes for spirit. We don't have every rune we need. The spirit rune word we need 4 runes for, and the one we're missing is Thul. So it's Tal, Thul, Ort, right? So we have our Tal rune. We actually have a bunch of them. Tal, and then we don't have a Thul. We have that second Ort rune, and then we have the rune. So we can make spirit if we find, once we find the Thul rune. The Thul rune will finish us off there. Spirit is a very good rune word for casters. And we kind of talked about it in the last session, the last episode. So that's what we're going to be making next. There's no sense in making... I have the runes for rhyme. I could make it. But there's no sense because we might find a better base before we need it. We're not going to equip it now because we can't equip our leaf staff and the shield. We can't do that. So we will equip it once we have our runes for the spirit rune word, which will go in here. And so maybe we'll find a better base for the rhyme rune word between now and when we find spirit. Maybe we'll find like a superior kite shield or something. So there's no sense in making that now because that'll just burn our runes. And we also might find a better helm before we make the lore rune word, so we're not going to pop that Ort in there yet. And then this, we're probably not going to find one better than this. There's a small chance that we'll find a crystal sword or something that will work in Nightmare, but it's pretty small, so we're probably not going to find that. But there's a fairly good chance we'll find something better than these. So we won't pop those just yet, but we will when we're good and ready. So now what we need to do is we need to find the Thul rune, or the Thul rune. The Thul rune, we're going to actually find that just like we found our early game runes from normal Countess. We're going to find those from Nightmare Countess. We're going to find the Thul rune. So normal Countess, we could find a Thul rune from normal Countess. We can't find a Thul rune from normal Countess, but we could farm one. She won't drop anything higher than a Ral rune, but we could cube up 3 Ral runes to an Ort rune and cube up 3 Ort runes to a Thul rune to get that. The odds of us getting a Ral rune are roughly 1 in 3, a little bit less than 1 in 3. So it would take us about 9 runs on average to get enough Ral runes to find an Ort rune, and then it would take us 9 runs again to find a third Ort rune, or a second Ort rune and a third Ort rune. So on average, it would take us about 27 to 30 runs to get enough to cube the runes up for that Thul rune. It's maybe a little less because we can get that Tal runes while we're going, but 27 runs. Now, running normal Countess is pretty easy. We're way over-leveled for normal Countess, so it'd be fast, it'd be easy, it'd be virtually no danger. But, obviously, we'd have to run it about 27 to 30 times. Well, guess what? Thul rune can drop from Nightmare Countess. right? A Thull rune can drop from Nightmare Countess. The odds of dropping a Thull rune are roughly 1 in 7. Okay, so that means we have to do about 7 runs on average to get a Thull rune. The odds of dropping an Ort rune are 1 in 4.5, a little over. It's like 23%. 1 in about 4.5, and so we might get 3 Ort runes before we do 27 runs to get that Thull rune, or there's a chance just to get the Thull rune outright. There's also a chance, which is about 1 in 8, to get a Soul rune. So the 2 runes we need will drop from Nightmare Countess. It's a little more dangerous, but we'll be gaining experience, which we wouldn't be gaining. We'd be gaining almost no experience from normal Countess, like virtually none. It's such a small amount that it wouldn't matter. But we'd be gaining actual experience to level up from Nightmare Countess, and there's a chance it's going to drop the runes we need. Plus, there's a small chance that we'll drop even higher runes. Nightmare Countess can drop all the way up to a Ko rune. Although the Lum and Ko are a very, 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 very small chance to drop. Like 1 in like 2,500 for the Lum and 1 in like 3,800 for the Ko rune. Okay? So it's going to be much more economical to go ahead and grind Nightmare Countess, so that's what we're going to be doing. We will pop our Frost armor, or Frozen armor, and then head on out. So we're going to go to the Dark Wood. If you remember the nice. If you remember the Black Marshes is what... Hello, hi. Sorry, the Black Marsh... Excuse me, that was a lot of... Oh, he might use this. The Black Marsh is where the... That's no good. We're going to identify that. I need to buy some more identify scrolls. Is this any better? No. No, it's not any better. The Black Marsh is where the Forgotten Tower is, so we need to find that. Oh man, those guys hurt. The Black Marsh, we need to find the Black Marsh, which is the next area. We'll find the waypoint, and then we'll head down into the tower. And then we'll just keep going back to the marsh until we find that Thull rune. And if we're lucky, we'll find the Soul rune while we're there. Hello. Ooh, that hurt. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Popped way too many mana potions, but I'll grab a couple of them back. That's probably the tree over there. Yep, there's the tree. We don't need the tree anymore. We got that in the last episode, session, stream. Alright, let's keep going. So we're just going around the outside, around the outside, around the outside to find the... either find the road or to find the... like the exit. So here's the road, so we're going to follow the road. That will hopefully take us to the exit. Hello. I didn't mean to pick that up. Just killing off dudes, gaining some experience. See, we're still getting pretty good experience here. So I just don't think it makes sense to go all the way down to normal and just run that over and over. Hello.
Not enough mana.
There we go. Nice amulet. I definitely need to get some identify scrolls. 11 to energy. That'd be nice because that would give us 22 mana, but I still think the lightning res and the magic finder better. Alright, let's keep going. Re-up our frozen armor and follow the path. Off we go. This is a winding path, isn't it? Alright, this should be it here.
I need mana.
All right. This should be our next area. There it is, Black Marsh. All right, so we are going to Healing Shrine. We're just going to follow this till we find the exit.
Thanks.
Let's heal you up. Alright, let's go. We're going to follow this until we find the next area. Okay, so that's not it. There's the tower. Alright, so we need the waypoint. We actually need the waypoint. So there's the tower right there. We'll remember that. But we need to find the waypoint, so that way we can come back here, like reload and come back here. So we're going to follow the road until we find the next area, and then we'll just go around the outside, around the outside. Right.
Not enough mana. I need mana.
I think this is the next area. No, it's not. Grab all those mana potions. We'll definitely use those. So you can see I haven't even... Oops, I need another one of the healing potions. Don't have that. You can see I haven't even finished exploring this area, and I barely was in the Dark Wood, and we've already gained about half a level, so...
I need mana.
So that's pretty cool. Alright. Oh, this is gonna be... There we go.
Not enough mana.
Oh, she hurts.
I need mana.
The Carver camp. So the exploding shrine just drops a bunch of exploding potions around you, and then like deals some damage. It's like whatever, I guess. You can hurt yourself if you activate it.
Not enough mana.
Well, that hit all the way out here. That's funny. Let's drop those off. So we're just looking for the exit, and then again, we're going to look for the waypoint while we're here. Nice. Don't need the town portal scrolls. The battle scythe might actually want to look at that. What does he have? Alright, that just does so much damage.
I can't use that yet.
Oh, he can't use it. He doesn't have enough dexterity. He needs to level up one more, which means I need to level up one more. But I don't think it would be any better than what he has, so we'll just move on. Alright, there's the next area, so let's just go around the outside to find that waypoint.
I need mana.
There we go. Nice. Nice, another emerald. Alright, so we're just looking for the waypoint, so that way we can come back here next time. We don't have to go through the woods.
Not enough mana.
Over the river and through the woods. There's the waypoint. There's the river, see? So the cool thing about this is I can actually teleport over the river. Save me some time. We'll get that armor shrine. Drop those off in the belt. Down we go. So this is our next quest.
This place holds many
Nice.
secrets.
So we're going to stay to the left again. Probably not as good as what I had. We'll move on. Oh, nice, a ring. A rare ring. Let's see what it gets us.
I need mana.
Beautiful. Not very good. Nope. Alright, off you go. That's unfortunate. Alright, I leveled up. More life. More life is always good. And remember, we've already maxed out our fireball, so this will give us an extra 7% damage, or this will give us an extra 5% damage. So we want 7%, so we're going to keep going with Fire Mastery. We are up to 889 to 999 fire damage, so really nice. There's down to cellar level 2. So I said keep to the left. That's what we learned the first time we did Countess in normal. But you also got to keep in mind that in Nightmare and Hell, the Forgotten Tower is larger, so that the map is bigger. So it might take longer to get through this in normal than it would in Nightmare than it would in normal. So just keep that in mind. You're still going to go to the left, though. Generally speaking, that's where the next area is, and what do you know? It's right there. Just stay to the left. Now, there are rare occasions where it's not to the left, it's to the right. And so you can like try going to the right, but it happens rare enough that you're better off. You're going to be more efficient just going to the left every time, and then the one time it's not to the left, it's just bad luck. Nice. Oh, hey.
mana.
Ow. Alright. That was not to the left, but we saw some unique monsters, so we just got the extra experience and drops from them. Hello.
I need mana.
Ooh, great helm. Let's check that. Let's see here. Attack rating, extra defense, and fire defense. What does he have? Lightning and fire. Got more fire. The bonus to attack rating would be good, because then he's going to hit more often, but he's going to lose fire and lightning res. How much?
I'll put that to good use. I'll put that to good use.
Gives him a little extra defense.
I'll put that to good
I
use.
feel like the attack rating is going to come in handy, and your resistances are already okay. Yeah, I think we'll just do that. Alright. Alright, let's keep going. We're gonna go through here and get all the money that's dropped. Open the chest. Go to the other side, open these chests. It's a light belt, but it's gray, which belts can't get sockets, so that means it's ethereal. So ethereal items, if they're armor, it gives you a little bit of extra defense, but eventually they'll break.
I need mana.
Killer. Nice job. Hey, a soul rune! Nice. Take the ground rune too. That's nice. That's huge. So we got kind of lucky on that one. We still need the Thol rune, but we can equip our lore helmet, so that's really awesome. That's really great. We got so lucky on that. Alright, so we did that. We've got our, what do you call it? We got our waypoint, so we can just reload and come right back. Here we are. Oops. Let's go identify this jewel. Oh, nice. I can pop that in something, but I probably won't use it, but that's kind of nice. Alright, got some good money on that. Let's drop our gems off. Could actually get a flawless sapphire. Beautiful. Another chip skull. There's our soul rune. I think soul goes in there. Yeah, it's soul. Thul soul. Yep, that's it. But we're about to use it, so put our Rao rune there. So it's going to be Ort Soul. We're going to move our helm. We're going to go ahead and use this because we didn't find a better helm. Yeah, we've dropped off everything. Okay, so Ort Soul. And that's going to make our lore rune word, which we're going to use for our helm. So ready? Ort Soul. There it is. Lore. So lore is awesome. It gives us +1 to all skills, so that's going to increase our damage. It gives us +10 to energy. So for every point of energy we have, that's 2 points of mana, and so that's going to give us an extra 20 mana. We've got 30% lightning res, which our lightning res I think is already pretty good. 47, so that's going to take us up to 77, so we'll hit the cap on light res, so that's nice. Unless that has... Oh, we're going to lose 7, so it'll take us up to 70, which is fine. That's going to be pretty close to the cap, so our light res is going to be pretty good. Damage reduced by 7, so that's nice damage reduction. Another +2 to mana after each kill, just like our... Oh, I thought this gave it... What gives us +2 to mana? Oh, the Leaf rune word. Another +2 to mana, so now we're going to be getting +4 to mana after each kill, so that's nice. And then the light radius sucks. It's useless. So let's take a look. You can actually see how things change when we equip our lore helmet, so keep an eye on our damage. Our defense should go up a little bit, not much, just by 2. But our lightning res should go up, and our mana should go up from 105 to 125. So there we are, 125, and as you can see, 889 to 999, and now our fireball damage is 988 to 1106. So that gives us about 100 extra average damage, so that's extra nice. And we're getting some lightning resistance, as you can see, without losing any other resistances. So we didn't have any resistances on this except lightning, which we get more of that. So we're not losing any resistances. We're getting extra mana. So excellent rune word, and of course the damage. That also, and I'll show you something else. So that also bumps up all of our skills, not just our damage skills like Fireball and Meteor. It bumps up all of our skills by 1. So now we have an extra. So we're doing well on Warmth, right? We got 1 extra point into Warmth. We got 1 extra point into Telekinesis. 1 extra point into Teleport, which drops the mana cost. And 1 extra point in Static Field. 1 extra point in Frozen Armor. So that's nice. So. Pretty cool. So lore is a very good low-level, easy-to-find helmet, or helm rune word, so easy to grind for that. I think, yeah, we just gave him a better helmet, so we don't need to give him our old helmet. The only thing about this helmet is it looks stupid, but that's okay. Our skull cap looked pretty stupid too, so... So there we go. We got our lore rune word. That was so lucky that we dropped it. We've had some good luck on this playthrough. So that's lucky that our soul rune dropped right away. We are going to need another soul rune for our insight rune word, which is we're going to get later. Not necessarily right now, but the Thul rune is what we're after. This right here. So we just reset. We're going to go repair. Actually, we just did. We need to buy some more mana potions, mana pots. But yeah, that's pretty great. Pretty lucky on that one. So that was a roughly, for the soul rune, roughly 1 in 8, 8.5 chance. So we got a little bit lucky there. That's pretty nice. Alright. We're going to head back to the Black Marsh. See, we gained a whole level there too, because we were about here when we started. So that's nice. That is why we... Oh, hello. Look, the tower's right there. That's convenient. Just teleport right in there. That's very convenient. That's a good map. So just stay to the left, so you can see, there's the exit. Stay to the left. Alright, I guess we don't need to stay to that left, but we'll just keep following the left path. Alright, down we go. Level 3. find a lot of mana potions, so I think we can actually go ahead and drink that. Looking pretty good on mana potions right now. Again, down we go. It's also very helpful to get that extra 2 mana per kill, because that is going to help offset some of those costs. Not sure what I picked up. Oh. Hey, you jerk. Killed my buddy. How dare you? That was rude. Very rude. There's a super healing potion. That's so rude, dude. Alright, we're gonna go back to town. Because I want my buddy back.
Yes.
Hello.
Whoops. There we go. Alright, so this gives us a boost to our magic find, but we're going to lose a lot of resistances. 39 resistance, which that's not worth it to get 4% magic find. So we're going to ditch that. That's a bummer that they killed him. That's some money I lost. I guess I could sell this to get that back.
Greetings.
Some of it. That was about half of the money back.
The order welcomes you.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, the corrupted rogues that have the bows, the ranged minions, they are dangerous. So here's the cool thing. I see the exit right here. I'll just... Oh man, it didn't work. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. Not close enough. There we go. There we go, just teleport over there. Sweet, don't have to run all the way around. Generally, I would just like spam it, but I have mana problems, which I've found so many mana potions now that I probably could just spam it. Alright. We have a lot of mana potions, so this is level 5. There's a town portal scroll though. That's bad. So that was that green aura was the conviction aura, and it lowers all of your resistances. So that is super dangerous for weak characters like me. It's really dangerous for any character, but especially like glass cannons like the sorceress. Super, super dangerous. How good is that Targe? 3 sockets, 8 all res. If it had 4 sockets, I'd keep it for another character, or better all res. All right, we will teleport across. In we go. Nice, leveled up. There's our Thul rune. We got it. You're full up though. Alright, now we can have our spirit rune word. So let's go back to town. So we got it in only 2 runs. We got both the runes we needed. That is pretty lucky. Yeah, the Thul rune, the chance of getting the Thul rune is like 1 in 6.5, 1 in 7. Somewhere in there. And then the chance of the soul rune is like 1 in 8, 1 in 8.5. And so to get those on back-to-back runs, that's pretty lucky. We've had some good luck early in this playthrough.
Greetings.
All right. So let's roll our spirit rune word. Let's drop all these off. Actually, we can drop that off. All right. We've actually got a lot of these ready to go. All right, so let's put our spirit rune word in here. Let's see. There it goes right there. And then the runes themselves, it's Tal, Thul, Ort, And I want to give you a tip. We've been doing like just 2 socket rune words up to this point. So Leaf is Tyr Ral, Lore is Ort Sol, Stealth is Tal Eth. So just 2. Spirit is a little bit longer, so it's 4. So I'd recommend on any rune word, even the 2 rune words, is to just check and make sure. So just go on the Diablo wiki or the Ariat Summit or something, some website, and just check and make sure you have the right runes. Don't trust Google AI because it sucks. Just go on the Diablo wiki, make sure you have the right runes. So in this case, it's Tal, Thul, Ort, We're going to set those in order, so we don't need a Ral rune. That's going to go here. We need a Tal rune. So Tal, Thul, Ort. And that's a Dol rune. Dol rune goes there. And then There we go. Tal, Thul, Ort, Just confirming Tal, Thul, Ort, on our website. So we put in the Tal rune. We put in the Thul rune. We put in the Ort rune. And we put in the rune. And we have the Spirit rune word. That's a pretty high roll. So Spirit. Spirit can be rolled in swords or shields. And the result for swords is you get a +2 to all skills. There you are. You get a 25 to 35. It rolls. Faster cast rate. So we got close to the max. So 1 off of perfect, 35% faster cast rate. Or 34% for us. 55% faster hit recovery. We get extra lightning damage and cold damage, but we don't care about that because we're not, and poison damage, but we don't care about that because we're not going to be meleeing with it. But the hit recovery is big, the faster cast rate is big, the +2 to all skills is big. We also get lifesteal. Again, we don't care about the lifesteal. And those 4 things, the poison damage, cold damage, lightning damage, and lifesteal, are just for weapons. But we don't care about those because we're not going to be hitting things with it. We get 250 defense versus missiles. So if we look... Sorry, not O. A. If you look at our defense, it's 196. So we get more than double our defense against missile attacks. So that is bows and the little thorn beast thingies that shoot those things at you. The blow dart flares, those things. So extra defense. 22 to vitality. We rolled anti-perfect on the mana. So it rolls 89 to 112 bonus to mana, but 89 is still pretty good for us. And then 22 to vitality, which for a sorceress is 1 point in vitality equals 2 points of life, so that's going to give us 44 life. +4 to magic absorb, so 1 off of anti-perfect for that. So we got the cast rate, but we're looking for... but the other stats aren't very good. So it rolls 3 to 8 magic absorb. So magic damage, it will absorb some of that magic damage. Because it's only 3, if you get hit with anything more than 4, then it's going to just negate that damage. So... it'll negate up to 8 damage, I guess. So it'll stop 4 damage from occurring and then heal for that 4 damage. So basically reduce any magic attack by 8 damage. So if less than 8 damage, it won't affect you at all. But at this level, we're going to be getting hit for far more than 8 damage. In any case, so there it is. There's our Spirit Rune Word. That's what we're going to roll with. If you really want to... if you really want to and you have the extra runes, and you can clear out the runes and re-roll them, which people do a lot. But we're just starting in our playthrough, so we've just kind of got to go with what we have, because I don't really feel like grinding for runes again. But that's our Spirit Rune Word, and then we're also going to make the Rhyme Rune Word. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop these in here so we can grab our Rhyme Rune Word as well. So Rhyme is Shale Eth, and I'm just going to confirm it by typing Rhyme Rune Word into Google search, rhyme rune word in D2R. We're going to go back to the Diablo wiki, and it's shale eth. So there's shale, there's eth. Shale eth. Shale eth. I'm going to confirm shale eth, and it goes in a shield. So we're going to drop it in shale eth. And there it is. There's our rhyme rune word. So the rhyme rune word gives us a 40% faster block rate, 20% increased chance of blocking. We can regenerate mana, 15% to regenerate mana, which is really good for our sorceress. 25 to all res, 50% extra gold, and 25% MF. And then the big one cannot be frozen. That's the big one. The block rate and chance of blocking are very good. That's going to help our defense, going to help our survivability. 25 to all res, again, going to help reduce the amount of damage we're taking. The magic find is nice for finding items later on as we go, like finding the items we need to complete our build. But the cannot be frozen is absolutely huge. That means we will not be slowed from cold attacks anymore. And so it's, I believe, the only way to get cannot be frozen in a shield, unless you have it's like a burr rune or something, like a very high rune. And so that's super, super valuable. There's not a ton of sources of cannot be frozen, so having that is super, super valuable. You can also, if you prefer, you can also do Ancient's Pledge in your rune word, which is a 3 open socket, and the shield, which is a 3 open socket rune word. So I'm going to look up Ancient's Pledge real quick. So Ancient's Pledge is Ral Ort Tal. You get the runes from the second quest in Act 5 on each difficulty. And so the total effects that you get 50% enhanced defense, and this is for 3 open socket shields, 43 cold res, 48 fire, lightning, and poison resistance, and then 10% of the damage you take goes to mana. And so that's another good rune word. So with this one has a little bit less resistances and a little bit less defense, but you get that increased chance of blocking, the regenerate mana, and cannot be frozen plus magic find. So I think this is worth it to wait it out and try to get this. If you don't get a shale rune to drop, you can get a shale rune to drop from Countess. It's like a 1 in 9 chance, roughly 1 in 9, 1 in 10. And so it's worth it, I think, to go to Nightmare and try to grind for the rhyme rune word, in my opinion. So what we're going to see is we're going to take a look at what happens when we equip, when we equip shield and rhyme. Our damage will drop a little bit because we're going from +3 to fire skills, so +3 to fireball, +3 to meteor. We're going now to +2 on spirit. So our damage will drop a little bit, but we're going to make up for that in better mana recovery, faster cast rate. So we'll be able to cast things faster, so that'll increase our damage per second. Our mana recovery will go up a little bit, and I'll explain how that is. We are going to lose a bunch to warmth, right? So right now our warmth is +9 from this, so we get +6 from +3 from the staff mods on the short staff, +3 from the leaf rune word, and +3 to all fire skills from the leaf rune word. So that's a +9 to warmth, and we're going to drop that way down to a +2 instead. So it's going to go from 11 to 4, because we have +1 from this now. So we're going to lose some mana recovery there, but we're going to gain some mana recovery because this adds an 89 mana. So the way mana recovery works is the game will calculate it based on your total mana, right? So it takes the maximum amount of mana you have and divides that by a number. I'm not going to give you all the formula and look it up. It's a little complicated, but it essentially divides that by a number, and that's the number of seconds it takes to recover your entire mana, and then takes that number and multiplies it by your mana recovery rate, right? Your increases in mana recovery. So you have your base and then warmth, or what am I trying to say? An item like stealth, which gives you 15% mana recovery, or rhyme, which gives you 15% mana recovery. It adds all that up, and that's the modifier that it multiplies by to give you your mana recovery. And so you can increase your mana recovery by adding to warmth, by adding to items that give you regenerate mana, or by increasing the total mana you have. So if you, let's say you have 100 mana and you double that to 200 mana, well, it's going to take the same amount of time to go from empty to full, but you need twice as much mana to fill, so that means you recover twice as fast. You recover mana twice as quickly. So this will give us a big boost. This is like a 75% boost to our mana recovery. We're going to lose some from warmth, but we're going to get 15% of that back on our Rime rune word. And so we'll actually get an increase in mana recovery because of the added mana plus the plus this will actually give us an overall increase. Okay, so I'm going to drop this off. You'll see our fireball damage will go down. Bloop. It went down by 100. No big deal. It stinks, but it's not the end of the world. And then we're going to add our Rime rune word, which increases our defense. But you can see our... did this add resistance? It did add cold resistance. Huh, that's funny. Yeah, we had +8, and without it we have -25. I forgot that it added resistance. But with this, we're going to make up for that, so we're now back to 0. So we lose 8 cold res, but our lightning res is capped. Our fire res went up from 26 now to 51. And our poison resistance went from 0 to 25. Our cold res dropped a little bit, but we now have cannot be frozen, and we have some magic find. So it's totally worth it, I think, to lose a little bit of damage and lose a... I need to grab one more mana potion. Actually, they're in there, aren't they? Totally worth it, in my opinion, to lose a little bit of damage to gain all the things that you're going to get from Spirit. The faster cast rate, the faster hit recovery, and Rime, the cannot be frozen, the resistances, the regenerate mana, the increased chance of blocking and block rate, the magic find. So you're getting so much from having these two that to me it's worth it to give up on Leaf when you get to that point. Now, some people will say it's better to just go straight to Spirit, and it technically is if you have the runes for it, or if you have the items for it. But since we talked about that earlier, you can't really get the items right away. So if you've already done a playthrough, then you might already have that, and that's great. But if you haven't done a playthrough and this is your first one, then we use Leaf for what level are we? From level 19 all the way to level 37, so 18 levels. Almost half of our total levels we've been using Leaf for. So Leaf has got us through some good times. You know, we go way back, Leaf and us. So I'm actually going to put that here. We're going to save it. We're going to put that over here in our items. So if we do decide to roll another sorceress, we've got a Leaf in the chamber, in the holster, ready to go. As soon as we hit level 19, grab that Leaf and get running. Get off and running. Okay? So that's pretty cool. And we've got almost all of our rune words. The only rune word we have left to get us through to hell that we're going to need is Insight. And that's for our Merc, and that's going to solve our mana problems. It won't... Spirit will help our mana problems, but it won't completely solve them. But Insight will. As long as our Merc stays alive, Insight will solve our mana problems. So here we are with our Spirit rune word. Pretty damn cool, if you ask me. Pretty damn cool. You know what I'm saying?
Not here. Not here.
Yep. So now we can just kind of continue on.
Not in town.
Let's go. Let's get going. So now I'll be free to like teleport a little bit more because I won't be as worried about it. If I wanted, I could farm Countess again, looking for another soul rune. Let me check insights. What insight requires? I think it's Ral Tier Tal Soul Insight. Just want to confirm. Yeah, Ral Tier Tal Soul. I could farm for another soul rune, but I don't have a base for it. I need a 4 open socket pole arm. And so, you know, what I'm saying? It's like, whatever. So I have to find that 4 open socket pole arm before. So I'll probably, once we find that, if we don't have a soul rune by then, we'll probably come back. Oh, hey. If we don't have... we'll probably come back and farm Nightmare Countess for that. So I actually don't think I need all these mana potions, so we'll drink that to top off. And then we'll just grab mana potions as we go. Alright, here we go. But yeah, look at our life. 442, that's nice. 216 on the mana. We're beginning to climb. This is the Tamo Highlands. For the Tamo Highlands, we can actually just follow the road. There's nothing here worthwhile, at least not in Nightmare. In Hell, you can go to the pits, which is the level 85 area, and so the champions and uniques in the pits can drop every item in the game, and so it's worth it to... I guess I did need those mana potions. That's okay, we're going to keep going. It's worth it to go in there if you're farming and you have a character that can handle that much. Let's see, look, I'm already back to 100 mana. It's worth it to go in there if you have a character strong enough that can handle level 85 areas. There's the pit right there. But if you don't, then it's not really worth it.
I am overburdened.
Oops. This might be good. Let's drop that in there and see how good that is. So that goes from 102 to 306. Yeah, that's lower damage. We just want more damage, more flat damage right now until we get insight, and then we'll just stick with insight for a while. So I forgot what I was trying to say. So yeah, not worth it here. We're just going to go on. So yeah, if you remember from our normal playthrough, the Tamo Highlands, you can kind of just follow the road, and it'll take you to the next area, the Outer Cloister. Throw on our frozen armor again, re-up that. And you can see the damage is like that we're losing is barely enough to matter, and once we level up again, it'll all be this like a moot point. We'll get that damage right back. Did not mean to pick that up. That happens sometimes. You can actually turn off like pickup, where like you can't hover over items. Only if you hit Alt, it'll show you the item and allow you to pick it up. But I just like to. I don't know. I'm an old purist, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what you'd say, but I just like it that way. So that's what happens sometimes. You accidentally pick up things you don't need. How dare you? You can see I've had much less problems with mana. I haven't had to drink nearly as many mana potions since we got our Spirit Rune Word. So it's pretty nice, huh? Like right now, I have about the same amount of mana as I had when we made the Spirit Rune Word. Like, see, I'm almost back to the same amount because my mana recovery is just so much faster. Now I still have to pop a potion here and there, but once we get insight, like, it won't be a problem. I'll be able to recover mana so fast. There's the Outer Cloister waypoint. Now we can continue on into the jail. At that point, we can grab the Herodic Malice. Or not the jail, the barracks. Excuse me. There's the barracks.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
How dare you? Nice. He leveled up. That's nice. Let's see. You don't need that. Oh, fire resist. That's nice. What's our fire resist now? Capped. 51. Yeah, I'll keep that. Oops. Yeah, I'll keep that. That gets us capped on fire res. We'll get rid of that when we have an item that gives us a little bit more fire res. Find an item that gives us a little more fire res. I probably could have ditched the this one. The 17 to life isn't making too much of a difference, but I'm keeping that for now. Maybe the next grand charm I get, I'll ditch that. You'll love to see it. I actually don't think we need that many. I actually kind of want to get rid of this and move everything back over. I think I'm going to. Yeah, I don't think that's making enough of a difference here. Why am I doing it that way? I don't know. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's go. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So we killed a unique earlier, and it had the cold enchanted mod. And so this can take us down. We'll go ahead and find the Haragic Malice while we're here. It had the cold enchanted mod, and so the cold enchanted mod would freeze us for like a good amount of time in here in Nightmare. It'd be even worse in Hell. It would freeze us. We'd be slowed. We'd be slowed. I'm an idiot. We'd be slowed. We wouldn't attack as fast. Not that we're attacking, but it's hard to move around, and so it makes us more vulnerable for sure. And yet, because we have the Rhyme Rune Word and the cannot be frozen affix, we can't be frozen. It doesn't affect us. There's a lot of potions. I don't need that many potions. Where are you, dude? Oh, you're around there. I see. Did you get him? Nice job. Okay, there's the Malice. Alright, so he has the Holy Freeze aura. The cannot be frozen does not work against the Holy Freeze aura. It just doesn't work. You can't do it.
I hope
Go,
the
there's the
sisters
Malice.
appreciate this thing.
And so, just something to note: Holy Freeze gets through. Cannot be frozen. So, the good thing is once you kill the guy, the Holy Freeze wears off pretty quickly. Here we go. We're going to go down to jail level 1. Yeah, you can't get in there. There are some rooms, some secret rooms that you can get in, and I think we talked about this the first time we went through Act 1. But I guess that one's not one of them. Alright, jail level 1, here we go.
There was magic here. It's long gone now.
So you can see that extra cast rate. I'm just like casting so much faster. And so it's really nice. It really improves our overall damage. Even though we're losing damage for each hit, that cast rate improves our damage per second. So it's a big bonus. I need to check and see what my total cast rate is, what breakpoint I'm hitting. Oh, there's the waypoint. Let's head back to town. We'll check that. We are... Whoops. Faster cast rate, 69%. Nice. What are the breakpoints for Sorceress? 63. So we're hitting the 63 percent breakpoint. The next one is not until 105, so I'd need a ton of FCR to reach that. I would need 36 FCR. 36 FCR to reach the 105 point faster cast rate. The 105 breakpoint. And so where our attacks only are 9 frames. Yeah, because that we reduced it from 10 frames to 9 frames. So that's pretty cool. Actually, we were at 11 frames because we were at 35% faster cast rate before then. And so we've reduced that to 37 is the breakpoint. So we had 11 frames. So we've reduced that now to 9 frames. So big boost to our cast rate. It's pretty cool. We could continue on through the jail. I think we will, and then we'll just grab the next waypoint, and then that will leave us pretty close to the end for Act 1 in Nightmare. And so, yeah, what we're looking for now, we're just kind of grinding through, not doing anything special. We are looking for, if we find it, a 4 open socket pole arm. And that will be the base for our insight rune word, which will be the next rune word we're after. So this is one of those secret rooms that we can get in. So check it out. If we click this wall here, I think it's this wall, it might be this one. Oh, it's this one. Yep. If we click that wall, it allows us to get inside here. So secret entrances, something to look out for. Pretty cool little thing that they built into this game, 25 years ago. I think 26 years ago now. There's another one in here. There he is. Miss me. Oh, you hit me. I got cocky. Having all this extra mana recovery also helps our movement, our mobility. Because we can just kind of skip walking around things. And just go straight to the... just cast the teleport and get there.
Not enough mana.
Thanks.
Nice. I don't think I need any more mana potions. I don't, so we can do that. We'll move those up to here. Give us some extra room. There's the way down to level 2. So yeah, now we're just moving on. We're just pushing forward with the game, and then we're sort of like when we got the Leaf rune word and the Stealth rune word. We're just pushing forward with the game, and all we're doing is keeping an eye out for a 4 open socket pole arm, a halberd, a pole axe, a bill, something like that. 4 open sockets is what we're looking for. Now, if we don't find that, we can get what we need from cows, and then use the Larzik quest from Nightmare, the socket quest, to get the 4 open sockets. So if we don't find anything by then we'll use that quest. But the hope is that we find something before then. So as usual, right? Point and Fire Mastery gives us 7% extra damage for Meteor and Fireball. Whereas one in Meteor gives us 5% extra damage for Fireball, but it does give us more damage from Meteor than 7%. But I'd rather do both and get the higher damage for our main skill Fireball. So you can see now Fireball is 962 to 1080. So it is starting to climb up in damage. And it'll go even higher once we max out. Oh, I didn't mean that. It's not good. Once we max out our Fire Mastery, it'll go even higher. Now I will say, at this point, now that we have Spirit and Rhyme, we can swap if we wanted to, and you could swap at any time, honestly. We could swap to like reset our skills and go with a build for Blizzard, like a Cold Source build, and that's totally fine. And you could have done it earlier too, but this is working just fine. Like, I'm doing a ton of damage. I'm not really threatened. My mana recovery is pretty solid. Feeling pretty good, so I may as well just stick with what I got, you know? Let's see here, grab that. So I may as well just stick with what I got. Fire is working pretty well, so why not? You know what I'm saying? So here I could go all the way around to get over here, or I could just teleport. Watch. There I am. Oh, and there's the way down to level 3. Now when we have insight, we're just gonna be teleporting all over the place. We're just gonna like be all the time constantly teleporting. Got another set of those. So yeah, you'll see once we get insight. Our mana recovery will be so good that we're just teleporting everywhere. Alright, here's the way up. Inner Cloister. I actually think we're far enough along. Maybe we just finish this out. Finish out Act 1 and go to Act 2. Let's go back to home base. Turn in the Heraldric Malice. We got an Imbue quest. We don't really aren't really using that. There's like certain levels and certain items that are like the best for the quest, but it's like since you can only do it 3 times, it's like whatever. Let's see here. Drop these off. Flawless Skull. Whoops. Diamond. Flawed Sapphire. We got 3 of those, so we'll put those in. Flawed Topaz and Ruby. Beautiful. Alright. How many Identify Scrolls do I have? I almost have enough.
The Order welcomes you.
Alright, off we go. So you can see why I haven't put anything into mana, into energy, because I'd rather have those 2 points of life than the 2 points of energy for the attribute points. And then also, if you get items, it increases your mana recovery and your total mana. So you just gotta deal with a little bit of pain for a while, and then eventually once you get the items you need, then your mana will be sort of taken care of. Ghost armor, interesting. Just 10 fire res. It's not really as good as what he has. Nope. Hello. Hi. Die, dude. What the heck? What time did I hit you? You take a lot of fire. You must have some fire resistance. That tracks. So the Carver demons, the Fallen, they're immune to fire and hell. So it would track that that they have a fire resistance as you sort of get deeper into Nightmare. Where's the shrine? What shrine is it? A gem shrine. Oh, let's kill these guys. There, but that's the one time. Alright, so let's go back to town and get the gem we want. It is clear that we face the demon and Dariel. Drop that off. We'll do this topaz. I'm Akara.
Yes?
Yes? Yeah, we're all set. Alright. Gem shrine, gem shrine, gem shrine. Alright. Let's go to the catacombs. Now, in this case, on catacombs level 2, we are going to look for the waypoint because let's go this way. Because we might want to come back here and farm Nightmare and Dariel. Nightmare and Dariel is the best place to find a Stone of Jordan. Now the odds are still pretty low, and the Stone of Jordan is like one of the best rings, if not the best ring in the game, depending on what you are using it for, like what kind of build you're going for. Check those gauntlets. And so she's the Nightmare and Dariel is the best place to find the Stone of Jordan. The odds are still like in the thousands, like 1 in the thousands. 6 cold res, 13 fire res, so I'd lose some fire res. The defense is whatever. Yeah, I'll just stick with what I got. And so if you're target farming the Stone of Jordan, then you'd have to do several thousand runs, or with good magic find to get it, but she does have the best odds. I would recommend just farming Hell Andariel if you're going to farm Andariel, because she also has fairly high odds to drop the Stone of Jordan, but she has got a lot of other stuff in her loot pool. And so I think it's better just to farm Hell Andariel, but if you're specifically looking for that, reduce defense. Faster run walk is nice. We're going to get some extra lightning res. Lose some poison durability, poison res. Poison length. Lose some faster hit recovery. I think I'm actually going to do this. Even though it's a lower defense and lower a couple other stats, we're going to get lightning res, which we actually are already capped, so we don't really care about that, but we're not capped for hell. Yeah. but more importantly, the faster run walk. I think I'm going to do that. Whoops. Yep. And we get some extra magic find. Where's our magic find? 85% magic find. That's pretty nice. Alright, let's keep going. So that's slightly better than what we have. I wish it would have had more mods on it, or higher level mods, but it's fine. Alright, Catacombs level 2, we're going to search for the waypoint. So we're not going to leave, even if we find the exit, we're not going to leave until we find the waypoint. Oh, 3 open socket breastplate. Kill him.
Thanks.
Mm. 4 open socket spear. So that can go on the Merc, but it cannot roll insight. You can't roll insight in that. You can put infinity in that, but that's a super high level rune where you don't want to waste the runes for something like this low level. But this would work if this were a pole arm. This would be our 4 open socket pole arm. But this is not a pole arm. This is a spear, and so it would not work for insight. And so, unfortunately, we got to let her go, let her rip. So I picked that up to kind of demonstrate how important it is to check your rune words before you waste the runes. Insight is a pretty low level rune word, so the runes are cheap. Fairly reasonably easy to find, but you don't want to waste them, especially when you don't have that many runes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Alright, we're doing pretty good here. Again, we are not... We want to know where the way down is, but there it is right there. But it's more important to check for the waypoint because I may come back here and farm. I probably won't, but I might. And so it's nice to have that. So if I do decide I want to farm, I don't have to like come back and like look for that. I can just... I already have it. We're going to teleport to the next side. Re-up our frozen armor. Continue on looking for that waypoint. Spiders. So now all I'm doing is, like, if my health is kind of low and there's a healing potion on the ground, I'll just pop a healing potion and pick one up to replace it. Pretty nice. There's the waypoint. Alright, that is the last way. So we got every waypoint in Act 1. Now we're going to go down to level 3 and then, of course, level 4 to kill Andariel. But we're going to drop all this stuff off first. So we're going to kill Andariel, and then that'll be it for... this session, this episode, this whatever. Alright, so let's head back. Yeah, that run walk is really helping us because we're not just ready to burn all our mana on teleporting just yet. I don't need that. Nope, I didn't think I did. heard a conviction. Yep, I hear it. I don't like it. Alright, we're just gonna try to go to the edge here. Oh, hi. And we do so much damage. We need to up his damage. Insight's gonna help with that, but he's like really our weak link here. Our Merc is. Alright, we're just going around the outside looking for the way down. There it is. Here we are. Nice, that was lucky. I just used a mana potion. Alright. There we go. Oh, he died. Couldn't quite get to him. Blade.
The evil queen has fallen.
Nice. I'll take that. The blade, I forget what the blade is. Take the mana potion, rejuve, super healing. That's fine. All those are fine. And the amulet. All right, back to town.
This. Stay a while and listen.
And Dari.
Alright, bring him back. Costs like 2,000.
Good evening.
Alright, that sucks. This is actually decent. That gives us good poison res, but if I lose the FCR, if I swap out the FCR ring, then I lose a breakpoint. I go from 69 nice to 59, which is just under the 63 FCR breakpoint. So I lose that breakpoint. I do get extra magic fine for that and extra poison resistance for that.
Good evening.
And a little bit of Plunder's Life. I just don't think it's worth it. I'd rather have that next breakpoint. So we're not going to use that. This is the Spectral Shard. Oh, this is a really good item as well. If you don't have Spirit, this is actually like a sick item. The only problem is the dexterity requirements are kind of high. But it's a really good item because you get 50 FCR and then an extra 50 mana. And so that's like a 20% mana, so 20% mana recovery as well, and 10 all res. So all of those things are good. The 55 attack rating sucks, like it's useless, but the other three stats on it are very, very good. 50 FCR, like a high rune word, Hodo, which is Heart of the Oak. That only gives 40 FCR. So this 50 FCR would take us, it would give us an extra 16. It unfortunately would not be enough to get us to the 105 breakpoint, but if we did that in this ring, then that would get us back to 63. But so that's a really good item, but we're still not going to use it because Spirit is better.
The caravan is prepared.
Alright, we're not going to go east just yet.
Good morning.
Let's sell all these. Repair. Took a lot of damage there.
Finally, we.
Alright, don't need to trade. We'll buy another potion from you, but that'll be it. Alright, we are close enough that we're going to go ahead and level up when we get to the next act. Drop all that off. We're just going to, again, keep our eye out for a 4 open socket pole arm. Alright, let's go.
Where can I take you?
Alright, back to Act 2. We've done this before. No problemo. Hello.
Greetings, Honored.
Greetings. So as we go, the resistances, the fire resistances for some of the enemies will be more higher and higher, and so they'll be less and less effective.
I bet you won.
I could swap out to a different merc, like a Holy Freeze merc, which will help crowd control, like slow enemies down as they get close to us. Slow them by 40% if they're within 6 yards of my mercenary. But I think I'd rather have the prayer merc for now to keep my health high, and then I'll probably when we get to hell, we'll probably switch to the Holy Freeze merc.
Welcome.
All right, let's go talk to Atma. She'll give us our next quest.
I don't.
There's the quest. Not there. That's done. Quest 2, bada bing. And then the Herodic Cube.
You have.
Cool, we've done that part of the Herodic Staff quest already because we carried the Herodic Cube over from the last game. So we can go in the sewers. The sewers have enemies that are kind of resistant to fire. So I think if we're just going to try to level up, it'd be better just to go out into the desert, which is what we're going to do. Man, I hate these things. They are so annoying. There we go, we leveled up. We'll kill the rest of these guys while we're here, and then that will be it. More life. 447 max life. Another skill, we're going to drop it in on here. So again, we're going to do that. So 962 to 1080 and 651 to 764. We jump up to 998 to 1121. So we're almost always going to be doing over 1,000 damage with our fireball, and then 675 to 793. That will increase once we max this out. So we've got 13 more levels to max that out. So that will be maxed out at level 52-ish, which we should hit 52 probably about the time we're in like Act 4, Act 5, I think. We should be hitting 52, so pretty cool. So there we go. We got a little lucky with our early, only took 2 runs of the Nightmare Countess, and we got both the runes we needed. We do need another soul rune for insight, but again, doesn't matter if we have the soul rune now for insight because we don't have the base. So we're just looking for that 4 open socket base, the 4 open socket polearm base. Insight will give us a meditation aura. It won't give us, it'll give it to our merc. A meditation aura, and the meditation aura recharges our mana very, very quickly. Let me see if I can give you the stats. So it's a level 12 to 17 meditation aura. And level 12 is a radius of 25.3 yards to up to 32 yards at level 17. And that's between a 575% and 700% increased mana recovery rate. So it will increase our mana recovery by 6.5 times to 8 times, somewhere in there. So if we're recovering 1 mana per second, we'll be recovering 8 mana per second. So it will really solve our mana problems. It's an excellent rune word for casters. And so yeah, it's just really, really great. It'll also give him some extra damage. So it'll give 9 to minimum damage. It'll give him it'll roll between 180 250% bonus attack rating, so it'll hit more often. 5 to 30 fire damage, 75 poison damage over 5 seconds. It'll add critical strike, which if you land a critical, there's a chance for a critical strike, and if you hit that, it'll do double damage. 5 to all attributes, so all of his, where is it? All of his strength and dexterity, which those are the only attributes he has, but strength and dexterity will go up by 5. 2 to mana after each kill, don't care, but it'll also give you 23% better chance of getting magic items. So if he gets a kill, he'll get your magic find plus his magic find. So it's very nice. It's a nice weapon for the mid game until you're trying to find a what the heck do you call it? Like an infinity or a late game rune word. The other thing is the meditation aura synergizes with the prayer aura that he already has. So here's his prayer aura. Skill level 9. It heals 10, so that's 10 per second healing we get at a radius of 21.3 yards. It synergizes with the meditation rune on insight, and so it will increase his healing even more. And I'm trying to figure out how it synergizes. Where is it? Where is it? Meditation. It gives the same effect, and so like it doubles up. I forget exactly how it works, but whatever prayer aura he has, the meditation aura also gets that prayer bonus. So it'll increase your life regeneration as well. So that'll be nice. So it's a very good mid-game rune word. Insight is. Lots of people like to try to go after that before Spirit, but I think the bonus you get from Spirit is just too good to pass up this early in the game. So, all right, well, that's all we have for today. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Yeah, peace.